Monsieur by Edition de Parfums Frederic Malle was first launched in 2016. The perfume behind it is Bruno Jovanovic. It comes in a 100ml bottle for £170, a 50ml bottle for £120, a set of three 10ml atomizers for £80, a single 10ml atomizer for £34, as well as a 3.5ml atomizer for £3.50. Monsieur opens with a cool, clear, camphorous vibe, along with a pinch of rum, an odd touch of leather, a little bit of tangerine, and the first impressions of patchouli. But overall, the start of the fragrance feels very tight and compressed when it opens up, and the notes that are most prominent on my skin in the opening are the camphorous effect and the tangerine note. As we get to the mid, the patchouli really does turn up the volume. Soft notes of rum, tangerine, amber, along with a indistinguishable aromachemical sweetness, serve as muffled backing singers to what is the very long, loud death metal scream of the patchouli. But as Monsieur dries down, the band's pretty much a one-man show. The patchouli is very dominant. There is a almost invisible suede-like note in there as well, and after a while there's a slight chalky quality to the patchouli as well. But overall, in the dry down, this is a highly patchouli-centric fragrance. And in the base notes, there's a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of musk, just to cushion the larynx of the frontman. There is a great sense of time and place about this fragrance, simply because patchouli is so deeply rooted within the era of the 60s, so it's difficult to remove that association from the psyche. There's also an air of desperation in Malle's attempt to make this sort of old school, love it or hate it, counterculture associated smell cool again. Maybe after oud's no longer a thing, we're all going to go back to wearing patchouli? I don't know. I always felt like the Mallean aesthetic was, in part, about looking at classic elements of perfumery, making it cool again, bringing it into the future, and then launching it off and just kind of seeing what happens. But I don't get that sort of sense within Monsieur. I think this would work really well on a cold winter's day, or if you're someone who absolutely loves the smell of patchouli, or if you're, a little bit of a hipster, then I think you could quite easily pull this off. So, final ratings. Projection. This was, projection-wise, it was a bit of a beast. It projected solidly for 12 hours before it finally started to tire. So projection, I'm going to have to give it a 4.5 out of 5. In terms of sillage, Monsieur left a very clear scent trail behind me that others could very easily pick up for well over 8 hours. So the sillage gets a 4.5 out of 5. The longevity of this thing was 15 hours plus easily, so longevity gets a 4 out of 5. As for the overall smell, gosh, to be perfectly honest, I'm not a lover of patchouli at all. Wearing this fragrance made me feel very uncomfortable. It was far too patchouli-centric for my liking. There was a general lack of positive reactions from those around me who got a whiff of this. In terms of an idea, I feel like it's a bit of a failure. I feel like it's a muddled departure from the Malle aesthetic, but performance on this is absolutely nuts. Sillage, projection, longevity, it's amazing. This is the Godzilla versus King Kong of patchouli fragrances, but it is still too patchouli-centric. They didn't do enough of it to modernise and rejuvenate the idea of patchouli. However, as I said previously, if you're a patchouli lover, I think you're really going to enjoy this fragrance. However, I have to be honest, and smelling this as someone who is not keen on patchouli at all, I'm going to have to give this a 2 out of 5. So there you go, that's been my review of Monsieur by Frederic Malle. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Cheers for watching and take care.